on, Tom, let's give it up. It's getting late and there isn't any bushranger's cave.
Of course there isn't. It's near here because this is where the ghost is supposed to appear.
I don't believe there's any ghost. Anyhow, let's get home. It's getting late and we'll get into trouble.
You're right about that. If we don't find anything in 5 minutes, we'll turn back. All right?
All right, then.
Now, it should be near here somewhere. It should be between the gold mine and the hill. All right. Now, there's the Tarlee gold mine, and there's the hill. Bushranger's cave should be just about...
There! There it is!
Good on you, Wombat. Now, let's see about this ghost. Wombat, look!
Sail up! Sail up!
The magic boomerang.
The ancient legend of the Dreamtime people tells of a magic boomerang. When this strange boomerang flies in the sky, all time will stand still. Whoever has this boomerang has a great power.
Yes, I know you must have been worried with Joan away, but I assure you he's quite all right. Yes, I'll pack him off home straight away. All right, good night. Now, young man, off home this instant. Your aunt's been worried sick about you.
But Mrs. Stumpleton...
It wasn't our fault, Mum. We really did see the ghost that they've been talking about.
Really, we did. He was 10 feet tall, wearing big, thick black armor and riding on a gigantic horse. And he was yelling out, "Bail up! Bail up!"
I suppose you put up your hands and this bushranger made you stay there until after dark.
Not on your life. The moment we saw him, we ran for our lives.
We didn't stop until we got home.
Oh, I see. So even if you hadn't met this ghost, you wouldn't have been back any earlier. Is that right?
Well, actually, we were looking for the caves. And then we found them.
You're right, Mum. We wouldn't have been any earlier. But we really did see the ghost. Oh, well, I'll show you. This is it exactly, Mum. Ned Kelly, the bushranger. That's who we saw, isn't it, Wombat?
Too right it is.
Tom, Wombat, I can't make you out. Ned Kelly died nearly 100 years ago.
Well, then it must be his ghost, like the rumors say.
Tom, is this just a story you two made up as an excuse for getting home late?
No fair, I wouldn't tell you lies, Mum.
Anyhow, Mrs. Thumbleton, you said that if we hadn't seen the ghost, we would have been home much later.
That's so indeed, young man, now that you remind me. So, Wombat, go home straight away.
Goodbye, Tom.
See you tomorrow, Wombat.
And as for you, my lad, go to bed immediately. And let's have no more stories about ghosts.
What about my tea?
You'll have your tea in your room. Ned Kelly.
What's that? It's real. And tomorrow I'm gonna find out just what it is.
Thanks, dear.
Oh, but Mum, I've got to find out one way or another.
There's nothing to find out. Either you're imagining things or, for some reason or other, you two made up this whole thing.
You're not being very fair, Mum. You know I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh, no, dear, I'm sorry, but look, you must be imagining things, or you've been listening to stories people tell about the district.
But, Mum, surely there's no harm in finding out for sure.
No, I don't like it. Besides, after being late home last night, I don't feel inclined to let you.
But I've already arranged it with Wombat.
Oh, well, that settles it. Joan Kelly won't let that child out of her sight all day, if I know her, so you can stay home, too.
Hello, Mrs. Thumbleton. Ready yet, Tom?
Ready for what, young man?
We're going out to the bushranger's cave to find that old ghost. Didn't Tom tell you?
Yes, he did. And did you tell your mother?
Of course I did.
And what did she say?
She said if I wasn't home before dark, Dad would give me a good talking to.
See, Mum, I told you. Can't I go?
Oh, well, all right, you can go, as long as you promise you'll be home before dark.
Oh, we'll be home in plenty of time. It was only that it took us so long to find the place yesterday that we were late.
Well, remember, if you are late home, it'll be your fault that Wombat gets a talking to from his father.
We'll be home.
I promise. See you later, Mum. Come on, Wombat.
Tom?
What?
Don't you think it's about time we had lunch?
I suppose it is. Why?
Well, why don't we have lunch here before we go on up there? I'm awfully hungry. Are you hungry, Tom?
Yes, I suppose I am, Wombat. Cave's just up there, though. Suppose we have a quiet look round first, and then we eat, all right?
All right, then. Tom?
What is it this time?
This is about the place where we saw it, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, it is, Wombat. Or where we thought we saw it.
I mean, we did see it, didn't we? I mean, you said you saw it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, do you suppose it really is a ghost?
Don't know, Wombat. But I'm going up there to find out.
What if it is a ghost?
I hadn't given it much thought. I suppose I'd throw the boomerang and...
And what? I mean, we know that the boomerang stops everything that's alive, what's in the air. But is a ghost alive exactly?
It's a good point, Wombat. As I say, I hadn't given it much thought.
Well, what are we going to do?
What'll we do? We'll go on, of course. Unless you're scared, that is.
Me scared? Well, I'm not scared.
Well, come on.
Tom,
Yes?
are you scared?
No, not scared. Come on, let's get going.
What was that?
Well, I don't know. Look.
A kookaburra. A laughing kookaburra.
Well, he's gone now. Certainly scared him away.
Fair's fair. He scared us enough.
I'll say he did. Well, are you ready, Wombat?
Yes. Come on, let's go.
Certainly was a bushranger's cave. I'll say, look at this. Look at this revolver. Do you suppose it was Ned Kelly's? I don't know. Anyway, one thing's for certain.
What's that?
No one's been here for years and years.
Nobody alive, that is. What's that?
Look. Chains. The handcuffs work, too. Must have been a bad one. Who? The bushranger who had this cave as his hideout. He must have held people for ransom and kept them chained up until the relatives paid.
Sounds exciting.
Oh, you think so? Would you like to be chained up here wondering what would happen if nobody could get the money?
I see what you mean.
Look at this. Footprints.
They must belong to the bushranger that used to be here.
No one, but they're fresh. Those footprints have been made in the last few days.
Look! Someone's coming! Quickly, Wombat, run! Look, Tom.
Canvas?
Oh, come on, quickly, rip it down. Here you go, quickly, Wombat.
Sounds like we've lost him. You wait here, I'll have a look round.
Hello? Oh, Gwen. It's Linda here.
Linda?
Wombat's aunt.
Oh, yes.
Gwen, is Wombat still at your place?
No, he isn't here. Neither of them's come home.
Wombat said he'd be home hours ago.
I know. Tom promised to be home before dark.
He wouldn't lie to you about that, would he?
No, I'm sure he wouldn't. Linda, I'm worried.
Have you called the police?
No, I haven't. Have you? Well, yes, I suppose we should. I'll ring if you like.
Are you sure you don't mind?
No, that's all right.
You'll let me know?
Yes, I'll ring you as soon as I have any news.
Good night, then.
Thanks for ringing. Good night.
Good night.
Hello?
Hello, police. Oh, it's you, Constable Harris. This is Gwen Thumbleton. I'm ringing about Tom and Wombat Kelly. They haven't come home.
Oh, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Thumbleton. They're both self-reliant young men.
I wouldn't worry you normally. It's only that Tom promised to be home before dark.
Well, he is a reliable sort of boy at that.
You see, they went up to explore this bushranger's cave.
The bushranger's cave.
I think that's what it's called.
Up near the Terrell gold mine, isn't it?
Somewhere up near there, they said. Do you know it?
Yes, I know the place. Pretty rugged country. But I'm sure they've just delayed a bit too long. Oh, they'll be home soon.
I don't know.
Now, there's nothing to worry about.
Did he see you, Tom?
No, but I saw him. He's sitting just outside the tunnel, waiting for us to come out.
Must be another way out.
There is. That door.
Well, then why don't we...
Can't you see? It's bolted and padlocked.
And the only other way out is through the tunnel, where he is.
That's about it.
What happens if he comes in after us again?
Dodge down these side tunnels like we did before. He's too clumsy in all that heavy armor.
What's the time?
Oh, after dark, anyway.
How do you know?
He's got a lamplit, which also means we can't dodge past him in the night.
And that proves that he's no ghost then.
I knew that as soon as he chased us in here.
Tom, I'm hungry.
So am I. I shouldn't have dropped the food bag.
I'm thirsty too.
So am I, Wombat. I'm sorry I got you into this.
Can, you couldn't have kept me out of it. Hey, you can get us out of this.
How?
Well, look, we know that he isn't any ghost.
So?
So if he isn't a ghost, he must be a man. And if he's a man, the boomerang can freeze him. Now, all you've got to do is...
Throw the boomerang. How are we going to throw the boomerang in these narrow tunnels? We'd have to be outside, Wombat.
Well, then what are we going to do?
I wish I knew.
Hello, police here. Senior Constable Harris speaking. Oh, hello, Mrs. Thumbleton. What? They're not back yet?
No, they're not.
Oh, I see. I'd better go and get them.
Do you think they're in trouble?
No, I think they're all right, but it's best not to take a chance on it.
Can I do anything?
No, there's nothing you can do. You just stay put and try not to worry.
I am worried, though. I just can't help it.
Well, we'll let you know as soon as I find out anything. Good morning, Mrs. Thumbleton, and thanks for calling.
Wombat, wake up. You can't go to sleep.
I'm tired, Tom.
Well, he might come creeping in during the night, thinking we've fallen asleep. He'd catch us.
Oh, but Tom, he's not a ghost. He's got to sleep too.
That's a good point. Must be pretty tiring in all that heavy armor. I'll tell you what. Wombat, get up! Now, we'll sneak down the tunnel and see what he's up to. I'd say he'd be just about the tunnel. That's where I last saw him, where we came in. Come on.
Is he asleep?
Looks like it. This is our chance.
What are we going to do?
We'll make a run for it. We'll get as close as we can to the entrance, and then I'll give you a signal. I'll tap you on the shoulder with a boomerang like this. Got it?
All right.
Then we'll run out of the cave and home. Now, even if he wakes up, one of us should make it. Once we're in the bush, he'll never catch us. You ready?
Yes.
keep an eye on him, Wombat, and I'll go for help. And make sure you keep out of his reach.
Tom! You all right?
Constable Harris, am I glad to see you?
Oh, what's been happening? Your parents have been worried stiff.
You'd better come up and find out.
What have you caught? Looks like the ghost of Ned Kelly himself.
No, sir, he's alive enough.
Who is he?
We don't know. He's had that hat on all the time.
Well, Mr. Ned Kelly, what's your name? I won't talk, eh? We'll soon see about that. Well.
You know him, Constable?
I'll say I do, don't I, Knocker? Boys, you've managed to put the cuffs on Jim Collins, better known as Knocker Collins. Wanted all over Australia for gold robbing.
Wow. And we caught him.
I'll say you did, and a mighty good job you did, too. Well, Knocker, what are you doing riding around dressed up like that and scaring honest people half to death?
I'm not telling you a thing.
Well, aren't you now? Well, how would you like the word to get round that the great Knocker Collins was captured by two boys?
Oh, now, Constable, you wouldn't do that to a fellow, would you?
If you'd care to be a little more confiding, I might just make an exception.
All right. This shaft leads into the richest vein of the turning mine. Mate, figured out a year ago. We sunk the shaft right into the mine and cut up the entrance with a door. Since then, we bring the gold out through the cave.
But why get dressed up as Ned Kelly?
We reckon we could scare the people away from the area of the cave so we could bring up the trucks at night and ship the ore. Worked pretty well, too, until you two came on the scene.
And the names of your partners, Collins?
I'm not telling you that.
All right, lads. How would you like your names in the papers?
All right, you win, but not in front of them.
Fair enough. You lads go and collect this fellow's horse. It's over the hill just back there, and you can ride home double. Now, you can tell your parents about this, but no one else. All right?
What about you and him?
Oh, I'll just finish having a bit of a chat with him and bring him right along. Now, off you go.
All right, Constable.
Goodbye, Mr. Collins. It isn't really fair, Tom. You should be able to tell everybody that you really captured that gold thief.
I don't mind, Wombat. Besides, it's the boomerang who deserves the credit.
I suppose so. Oh, but still, it isn't fair.
Don't let it worry you, Wombat. Constable Harris had to keep quiet about our part in it, or Knocker Collins would never have talked.
But what about when...
Now, you two, stop chattering. Just be thankful you got out of this whole thing alive.
Morning, Mrs. Tumbleton.
Oh, hello there.
Good morning, boys.
Constable,
We've got a bit of news for you.
you've caught the rest of the gang. You've got a promotion.
Yes, to both of you. Yes, we captured the rest of the gang, thanks to you two agreeing to keep quiet about your part in Collins' capture. But that's not my news.
Well, what is it then?
Well, I have to report your part in this case officially, you know. And I also made a report to the manager of the Tarraleigh gold mines. Their board of directors met this morning, and they passed on a vote of thanks to you. As we're both in this case together, they asked me to bring this to you. Here.
Wow!
You did save them quite a lot of money in stolen gold. I suggest you give it to your parents to keep put away.
Well, well, so you weren't forgotten after all.
Oh, there is one thing. Knocker Collins says he doesn't know how you overpowered him. He said one minute he had hold of you, and the next you had him.
Well, it was quite easy. You see, Tom used... Wombat! Well, you see, he must have fallen asleep